$20,000 today. That's an economic miracle. But how did a country once
That's a
struggling
miracle.
under
Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. And today we're going to be checking out why Poland will win the 2030s. This
Why
is the
no?
first
Why Poland will win the okay?
2030.
It's supposed to be why Poland will win in the
Yeah,
2030s.
but you kind of understand the whole point. This is the first time reaction. Please like and subscribe and watch to the end. And let's get right into this video. I'm kind of curious to see why they will win.
Creator.
In 1990, Poland was one of Europe's poorest countries. But today, it stands poised to become a European powerhouse. In the last 3 decades, the lives of everyday Polish people have been transformed
Wow.
as the GDP per capita has soared from $1,700 to over $22,000 today. That's an economic miracle. But how did a country once
That's a
struggling
miracle,
under
like, for real.
communism become Europe's fastest growing economy? The answer sets Poland up for unprecedented success in the 2030s. And Poland's rise comes at an interesting time for Europe because its historic rivals are growing weaker. Germany, long Europe's economic engine, faces a looming demographic and energy crisis. For decades, the German economic model relied on cheap Russian energy to fuel its industrial base. But after the Ukraine invasion, the shift to more expensive alternatives, like liquid natural gas from the US, Qatar, and Norway, has raised production costs, undermining its competitiveness in global markets. At the same time, projections indicate Germany will lose over 2 million workers by 2035 due to an aging population and low birth rates. And Russia is grappling with severe problems
I
of
think
its
that has
own.
been the problem worldwide, mostly Asia country, low birth rates because people are getting old and there's no younger people to continue what they've actually started. So it's actually very bad. And yeah, I think government should start encouraging
No,
people.
don't even start the video because I've not really digested that
Government
information.
should really start encouraging people to
To keep birth, like what are the things the government have to put in place to age the younger
What are
ones
they working for?
to see the reason why they need to marry and bear offspring for the nation? Because you can't just
Because
a race will just
actually
wipe
think about
out
it, like what
just
are people
like
working
that.
just like
for?
that.
What are people working for family, like end of the day. So what are you working for? That's the question. Why
For
not
me,
do
I
it?
think the cost of living is expensive for the youth over there to make such
Yeah,
decision
actually.
because there's no one. Okay, there are people that don't want kids, but most people actually want kids. So it has to be the cost, and government has to
Or
look
working time.
into it. Yeah, government had to look into it.
Will limit Russia's ability to do business in dollars, euros, pounds, and yen.
International sanctions have dealt a crushing blow to its economy. Russia's global trade and finance capabilities have been severely restricted.
Wow.
Compounding these issues, Russia faces its own demographic crisis with high mortality rates and low births. In
Russia.
1990, Poland's economic landscape was bleak, a wasteland of inefficient state-owned enterprises and empty store shelves. The country's economy had been ravaged by decades of communist mismanagement. From these ashes, Poland embarked on a radical reinvention that would transform it into Europe's economic dark horse. The transformation began with shock therapy that rapidly transitioned Poland from a centrally planned economy to a free market system. Price controls were removed, subsidies were slashed, and budgets were balanced. Initially, this caused skyrocketing unemployment and collapsed
Actually,
state-owned
what I've
enterprises.
noticed, right? If a government actually calm down and crack their head together, the country must thrive.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, it's government that are corrupt that will take a country down.
why do they call them government? Government meaning leaders
You overlead
that wants to
everything,
lead, that
oversee
wants to
everything.
make decision.
Yeah,
A
take
common
action.
man
And
cannot
then
make decision for a
Governments
country.
that are like they can agree that I'm wrong. That's another thing. Most government they will make a mistake, and the citizens will be complaining on social media on papers and the rest, but they don't
But give
to
deaf ear
revert
to it.
the whole law. They'll be like, yes, they don't want to feel like okay, I'm wrong. Like they just want to. They know this is going badly. The currency is crashing, but they'll still stick to it. Why not just okay? Oh, bring back the old law or do something.
Work
else.
towards it to
But
make
most
it better.
governments have experienced that. Most governments they'll see the economy crashing and they'll just actually like leave it like that. People be complaining and they just want to admit that they're wrong. So that's another thing that kill economic again. So
Why
to
would
see-
you be in power and you still have pride?
Oh, very
But it
pride.
paved the way for a new economic order. And as Poland navigated this economic metamorphosis, it faced the 2008 financial crisis. Remarkably, it emerged as the only major European economy to avoid recession during this period. While the EU contracted by 4.5%, Poland's GDP grew by 4.2% in 2008 and 2.8% in 2009. This resilience stemmed from the Polish financial system being in the perfect posture. Its banks had minimal involvement in the subprime mortgage market and complex financial instruments like mortgage-backed securities. Polish banking regulators imposed high capital adequacy ratios and conservative lending practices. Additionally, it had not adopted the euro yet, and so the Polish zloty's flexible exchange rate allowed it to depreciate during the crisis, boosting export competitiveness and cushioning the economy against external shocks. Simultaneously, their recent accession into the European Union opened up new funding sources. EU grants were channeled into infrastructure development and modernization products, transforming the country's landscape. The construction and real estate sectors boomed, creating jobs and stimulating economic activity. Poland's workforce became increasingly attractive to international companies. The country emerged as a key destination for global service centers, with major corporations setting up operations to leverage the skilled labor force at competitive costs. And for 3 consecutive decades, foreign direct investment surged. Poland's GDP per capita skyrocketed from $1,700 in 1990 to over $15,000 by 2020, representing an average annual growth rate of nearly 4%. This meteoric rise made Poland one of Europe's most successful post-communist economies, and it's now a key manufacturing hub with a central location within the Union. For most of its history, Poland has been squished between German and Russian empires. But now, at the crossroads of Eastern and Western Europe, Poland has become a crucial transit hub, facilitating the movement of goods and sitting at the center of Europe's automotive and electronics supply chains. The Polish ports of Gdansk and Gdynia have experienced remarkable expansion, with container throughput at Gdansk more than doubling since 2010. This has been supported by investments through China's Belt and Road Initiative. Now that causes some red flags within NATO, but Chinese ownership is more limited than in other ports like Piraeus in Greece. Polish leaders are cautious about getting into bed with the CCP because they're allies with Poland's number one security threat, Russia. While other European powers struggle with energy dependency, Poland is executing an energy independence strategy that strengthens its geopolitical position and economic resilience. The cornerstone of Poland's energy revolution is the Baltic Pipe project, a strategic gas pipeline connecting Poland directly to Norwegian gas fields. Completed in 2022, this pipeline delivers 10 billion cubic meters of gas annually, dramatically reducing Poland's dependence on Russian supplies. As much of Europe scrambles for alternatives to Russian energy, Poland's LNG infrastructure further reinforces this energy security. The LNG terminal at Świnoujście, operational since 2016, has been steadily expanding its capacity from an initial 5 billion cubic meters to 8.3 billion cubic meters in 2024. A second terminal at Gdansk is in development, potentially adding another 4 to 8 billion cubic meters of import capacity. These facilities allow Poland to import gas from global suppliers, including the United States and Qatar, diversifying its energy sources beyond Europe. Gas imports from Russia, which once accounted for over 60% of Poland's supply, are scheduled to be completely eliminated by 2026. Oil dependency is following a similar trajectory, with Polish refiner PKN Orlen already reducing Russian oil imports from 90% in 2013 to approximately 30% today, with plans for complete elimination. Poland is also aggressively pursuing nuclear power development. The government has approved plans for 6 nuclear reactors, with the first unit scheduled to come online by 2033. This nuclear push positions Poland to not only achieve energy independence, but potentially become a net energy exporter to neighboring countries still struggling with Russian dependency. This strategy stands in
actually
stark
growing.
contrast.
Like we
Like, there
said,
are great
a
people
good
that-
government is all a country needs.
Actually,
Like
that's
nothing
Government
more.
their listings and
Nothing
think
more.
where.
My God.
Like from being the one importing, now they're gradually exporting.
Exporting.
Yeah.
What the hell? Like,
This is massive.
like this massive
Massive
baby.
baby.
To Germany's approach, which has left Europe's largest economy vulnerable to energy shocks and Russian leverage. While Germany scrambles to replace Russian gas with coal, Poland's foresight has positioned it as a model of energy security in the region. This independence gives Poland more control over its foreign policy and military strategy. Poland's defense spending is set to surpass 4% of GDP, far surpassing the 2% requirement for NATO. It aims to forge a shield for Eastern Europe and reshape the balance of power in the region. By 2035, Poland plans to double its military personnel to over 300,000, creating a modern, well-equipped force capable of defending its interests and contributing to regional
This is
security.
where the low birth rate come in. They say 3,000 chloride. So imagine they have low birth rate. Where is that number coming from? So who are the, you get me? So who's going to defend the country when
But
people
with
are
the way
getting old?
the country is going, the economy is going, people will be interested to have kids. Because for
Yeah,
me, I
that's
think
what I'm saying. One of the disadvantages
Yeah,
of low birth rate.
for me, one of the factors why young people don't want to have kids is
Cost of living.
cost of living.
You have no balance of life. You're still struggling with your
Yes,
education.
If that can be
How do you
addressed
bring
by the
kids?
government, more youth will have kids. Even if some don't want to have kids, but it will
And
be
you know
like 1%
what's funny?
of the youth.
You know what's funny? The rate of abortion is high. And there's
Correct.
the rate of abortion is high, and they see low childbirth. So you know that okay, the problem is not the people, it's the economy.
The
Because
economy.
I can't bring somebody I can't cater for. Like, get me? I'm not comfortable, so why would I bring somebody back? So see the economy.
Polish military's procurement drive includes orders for 1,000 K2 tanks and 288 Chunmoo artillery rocket launchers from South Korea, along with 96 Apache helicopters, 250
This helicopter
upgraded
looks so
Abrams
fierce.
tanks, and 48 Patriot air defense missile batteries from the United States. And this massive military expansion is attracting foreign investment, particularly from South Korea. The partnership includes technology transfers, which will enable Poland to manufacture K2 tanks domestically,
Whoa.
fostering the growth of
You know,
its
when you
own
say South Korea, I was
defense
thinking
Has
North
a-
Korea.
Polish General Wisław
That's a good thing for a country to be able to produce its own weapons.
Yeah.
You know, most countries rely on the US
Imports.
and Ukraine. I think one of USA major source of income is the export of arms, and Ukraine and Russia too. So for a country to be making their own, that's
A very big step.
a big step up.
Kukula has repeatedly emphasized the need for the country to prepare its forces for a full-scale conflict. Poland's military expansion primarily aims at bolstering defenses along its eastern border with Belarus and Kaliningrad. And this gives Poland a larger seat at the table within NATO and develops its
They're
domestic
gradually
defense
becoming the
industry.
big dogs in
As it
NATO.
becomes both a consumer
Who would have
and
thought?
producer of military technology, it will open up new export markets in the future. So, Poland is now Europe's most overlooked military and economic power. With a larger army than Britain, France, or Germany, and living standards that, when you adjust for purchasing power, are on par with Japan's. The traditional European
Wow.
powers are struggling with their own crises, which means the power structure of the continent is about to shift. For decades, Germany dominated economically. Britain provided financial leadership, and Russia loomed as the Eastern giant. But that world is crumbling, and Poland is stepping into the void. Countries like the Czech Republic, Slovakia, and the Baltics increasingly look to Warsaw, not Berlin, for leadership on regional security and economic coordination. As the United States seeks reliable
victim.
partners for
This is
containing
shocking.
Russian influence, Poland's military buildup and strategic position make it an indispensable ally. China, too, recognizes Poland's economic significance, carefully balancing investment opportunities against NATO's sensitivities. But perhaps most significantly, Poland proves that the European project does not require surrendering national sovereignty over to Brussels. By maintaining control over its energy policy, defense spending, and economic strategy. Poland demonstrates that EU membership and national strength can coexist. The 2030s will be the decade where a country that was wiped off the map 80 years ago becomes the continent's most dynamic force.
That's an epic word.
Like that's finishing.
The finishing touch, the
Line.
icing on the cake is.
The finishing line is like a finishing blow.
I'm
Like
telling you,
KO.
the country that was once wiped
Like,
out is now the giant, becoming the
literally-
giant.
That line does literally says the whole thing I've been talking through the whole thing. That's a summary. Like for somebody that don't even know the issue of Poland, that line alone is a summary. Like who would have thought? Like for real, like, who would have thought? Like
I'm so happy
the
for
rise
Poland.
of Poland is it needs to be studied. That's why we are studying it.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
why we're interested
That's
to
why we're
see it.
interested to seeing it because like wow, like oh my god. And again, a government that listens and change method. If something's not working in this life, you don't tell me that you're
Don't
doing
be
a
too
job.
scared to make
and-
that change.
Let me give you a content, right? You're doing a job that you know is not working well for you, and you just keep doing that job. At some point, you have to retire. Like,
Of
no,
course.
that's the same thing most government do. They keep doing something that's failing, and they just don't want to retire. They just want to keep doing it.
Yeah,
Like
they're still doing
everybody
it.
make mistake. You can change your ways.
We are
like-
humans.
and again, the low birth rate is kind of becoming a global pandemic at this point. A lot of countries now is like having that crisis. So governments all over the world need to step up their game and because now if you are
No,
reducing
not government all over the world, because there are some countries that their
Yeah.
population is more
Too
than
much.
their.
yeah.
Yeah.
What I meant by that is like governments that has such issues.
Issues.
That's what I
Okay.
meant, not like all over the world.
Mm.
So countries are overpopulated now. Like,
Some countries are
some countries they need to
overpopulated
go put
to the point that they are moving to some other
Yeah.
person's country.
That's another thing. If you're not populated, another country will move to your country.
Of course.
As immigrant and you get before you know the billionaires
Because I don't have kids does not mean you move to my house.
exactly
That logic does not
it
make
just does not
sense.
make sense, but that's how the world slowly works. Because people look for opportunity, and if there's opportunity and there's no manpower, people will come for opportunity. That's why you have visa and people try. I'm not saying illegal immigrants.
Legal.
Don't cut me wrong. I meant legal immigrants. So thank you guys for watching with us, and please drop your thought about this video, what you think. There's not how you watch this video and you don't have something going through your mind.
To say.
Please tell me in the comments section. Like I need to see what's going through your guys' mind. And thanks for watching with us. Like, subscribe, share, and let's catch you on the next videos. Stay and bye.